My name is Lauren, and sitting next to me is Daniel Naroditsky. He is in 5th grade, and I first met him at the Burlingame Chess Club, where I managed to beat him in a tournament game. But now I don't think I can, because he won the Northern California High School State Championships. Congratulations, Daniel.
Thanks.
Were a lot of people surprised when you won this tournament?
The players weren't surprised at all because they knew that some top-seeded person would win. Some top-seeded player would win the section, and I was amongst the top-seeded players. So they weren't really surprised because it didn't matter if I was a 5th grader or a 12th grader. They were the same strength. But the spectators were really surprised because they thought that a 5th grader can't win the high school championship and a 12th grader would win. But since I was top-seeded, only the spectators were surprised.
So it seems like age doesn't matter. Where have you competed outside the Bay Area?
My scholastic tournaments included the Nationals in Orlando, Florida, where when I was 9 years old, I think. And I was top-seeded by 300 points, and it was a very big success for me to have 5.5 points out of 7 with 3 draws in 9th place. And then I won a revenge, so next year I played in the 3rd grade nationals held in Nashville, Tennessee, where I got 1st place. I was also top-seeded. Next year in Houston, Texas, I played in the 4th grade category nationals, and I also got 1st place, but I also was top-seeded. My international tournaments included, my first international tournament was in 2005. I played in Belfort, France for the World Youth Chess Championship, the under 10 years old category, where I got 5th place. And my next international scholastic tournament was held in Ecuador, Cuenca, Ecuador. I was playing the Pan American Championship under 12 years old category. And my adult tournaments included, I think, 3 national opens and Far West Opens in Reno. First I played in the C section and I won it, and then I played in the B section and I won it. But then I played in the A section and finally in the open section. It was much harder, but still a very good experience. And then I played in the National Open in Las Vegas 2 times, where I did okay. And it was also a very good experience to play adults. It was a very hard tournament.
How did you get started in playing chess?
Well, I was 6.5 when my brother and my dad taught me how to play. At first, my brother started beating me a lot, but then when I beat him the first time, it gave me a big inspiration to play, because I thought that I could beat everybody, but that wasn't so easy. But when I started beating people, I felt more and more happy, and I wanted to win more and more, so this gave me a big inspiration to play.
That's great.
Beating my brother.
How did you get so good at chess?
Well, it took a lot of practice. I didn't just wake up one day and become really good. It takes a lot of practice. The first year I wasn't good at all. The second year I practiced more and more and more. I became better and I became better. And I started practicing more and more, because when you're a weak player, it's bad to practice a lot because you can't remember everything you practice, but once you become stronger, you have a much better chess memory and you can study more and more.
I got better by looking at books. That really helped out. And so did you study with books too?
Well, at first I only played my brother and I played in tournaments, and then I started with Maiden 1 tactics books, and after I just solved the Maiden ones in like 5 seconds, then I started more complicated tactical books. And then when I became a C player or a B player, I started strategical and positional books, which were much more complicated than tactical books.
What would you tell other kids your own age to improve?
Well, I would say don't lose your patience when you lose a game, because you're gonna lose hundreds of games if you plan to lead a successful chess career. And don't think that you're gonna wake up one morning and be a very good chess player. You need to study, you need to be patient, and don't try to read books in one day. You need a lot of time, and it doesn't matter if you're better than other people. It matters if you want to achieve something in chess, and you're gonna achieve it, because people want to achieve something and they really strive for it, achieve it.
That's good to know. And what are your goals in chess?
My goal is to become a Grandmaster by age 17, but if I just become Grandmaster, it's also very good because it's very prestigious to become a Grandmaster. So I just want to become a Grandmaster.
That's a good goal to have. I'm sure you're going to accomplish that. So, kids at school, do they know that you're really good at chess?
Well, they do, but at first they wondered, how can I play people 10 times my age? But then they understood as time went on that it didn't matter how old you were, it mattered how good you were. And if someone is 100 years old and he's playing a 1-year-old person, a 1-year-old boy, and he can still lose if the 1-year-old boy is better. So it really doesn't matter the age difference. But it rather matters how much you study and how seriously you take the game. And then they understood that I was better than some people, and because when they were in 2nd grade, they really didn't understand that how can you sit at the board for 5.5 hours. But they became more mature and they understood.
Do they ever want to play you?
Oh yeah, I just played in a simul in my school,
Mm-hmm.
and some kids played.
That's great. What do you like to do besides playing chess?
Well, I like to study geography and countries, like really obscure countries like New Guinea, and countries in Oceania and Africa for countries. And I also like to study classical music, composers in Baroque and Renaissance era. Of course, I enjoy playing with my brother, any types of games. And I like also to read books and to write all kinds of stories, from history books to fantasy books.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I haven't fully decided yet, but maybe I want to lead a chess career. But if I don't become one of the elite grandmasters, then chess would be just my hobby, and I would keep playing tournaments. And I'm thinking maybe I can be a scientist in any field. I have not decided in which science field of science. Maybe experiments, or maybe I could be a geography or a chess historian, because I really like studying chess history and chess events, because maybe I can be a chess historian. But I'm not fully decided yet.
You're still young, so there's not a time. Right next to me is Daniel, and we already talked to him. And this is Daniel's dad, Vladimir. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Do you think that there's any connection skill-wise or any other way between chess and piano?
I'm sure there's a connection. It's kind of hard to define it. Definitely there's a connection between chess and piano and science and mathematics, no question about it.
Why do you think that there is some kind of connection?
Superficially, it's very simple. And if you want to accomplish something in chess, you have to study it for a very long time before you see the results. The same is true for piano. First you do very boring stuff, and only in a couple of years you really can start to enjoy playing piano. The same goes for chess. That's a superficial connection, of course. Now, if you ask me whether there is something inside of the brain which makes every good chess player a good pianist or the other way around, I don't know. But probably, there is some deep and profound connection between the way the brain functions and how it is applied to various fields of knowledge. But it's a very difficult and profound question which a lot of scientists are now studying, so there's not much except the superficial remarks you can make.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you
Sure.
for the interview.
Okay, thanks.